Mourners are beginning to arrive at the Olive Convention Centre in Durban, and that's where the memorial and funeral service of the late former Bafana Bafana coach, Clive Barker, will be held. The ceremony is set to begin at 11 this morning. Newzroom Afrika's Benjamin Leshoro is there for us, and let's take a listen to what he had to tell us a little earlier. All right, I'm told Benjamin Leshoro is actually live for us in Durban. Benji, good morning to you once again. Let's talk about the people that you have seen starting to fill up the hall. Any famous faces that you may have come across? A number of people have paid their tributes to Clive Barker, lauding him as perhaps South Africa's most loved coach. Explain to us why this is, how Clive Barker is being remembered as one of South Africa's most loved coaches.
Good morning yet again, Koli. Yes, you're quite right. Clive Barker, one of the most loved figures in South African sport, because he is etched, his name is etched in the history of South African football as the only coach to deliver the coveted Africa Cup of Nations trophy to South Africa, to the national team, Bafana Bafana, back in 1996. The only time that Bafana Bafana has won that particular trophy for the African continent. And since then, Clive Barker has been sort of a revered figure in South African football. And we are expecting a lot of famous faces, as you say, mourners, to be gathering here as they are starting to arrive at rapid pace here at the Olive Convention Centre in Durban. There'll be journalists as well. I just happened to see veteran journalist Mark Gleeson, who just passed me here. He will be one of the speakers here today. I just happened to get my hands on the program that will be starting at 11 o'clock. He'll be one of the speakers as friends of Clive Barker, and he would have covered the national team in those early days. Remember, South Africa was only readmitted back into international competition in 1992 by FIFA, and all the other sporting codes, of course, also only readmitted in 1992. So that's only when Bafana Bafana was formed. Mark Gleeson, one of those journalists who would have covered the national team back in those days and would have known Clive Barker from there. But before I let you know who are some of the other famous faces that will be on the program, I'm just going to move out of shot here, Koli, and allow Lungelo to show you the hearse that has arrived. If we can just see it in just a moment, you'll see it in front of that white vehicle. The hearse arrived around 20 minutes ago, and that is carrying the coffin. And as I said earlier, the body of the late Clive Barker will not be in that coffin. It is a mere symbolic gesture because he has already been cremated. The family held a ceremony earlier today, a private funeral ceremony, and the public and general friends will come and get to have theirs here. So preparations are underway inside the venue already to make sure that when things do begin at around 11 o'clock, everything is in place. So we're expecting the pace to pick up from now. So let's take a look at who will be here. As you would have expected, Neil Tovey, the captain who famously lifted that trophy back in 1996 at the FNB Stadium, will speak on behalf of the class of 1996. Sandile Zungu is the president of AmaZulu Football Club. Clive Barker was very familiar with that club. He coached it on no less than 5 different occasions. So it is the one football club that he coached the most and that he loved the most in his coaching career. There'll be a message from the KZN Sport Confederation. There'll be a message on behalf of the Football Association in South Africa by the President, Danny Jordan. And then the musical items will be provided by Mr. Zwaibala, who will be here also and there'll be the eulogy delivered by the Minister Zizi Kodwa. So that is the program that we have received here, and that, of course, will all be before the program is handed over to the SAPS chaplain. So that is what we're expecting here at the Olive Convention Center at the moment, Xoli. So we're slated to begin at around 11 o'clock. That's in just about 54 minutes to be exact. So we will update as things pick up the pace here.
Benjamin Leshoro, thank you very much. Live for us in Durban there.